don't let one thing that's happened in the past dictate everything that is going on for you right now. I talk to so many people, and a lot of them tell me something that happened in the past and how it's affecting what they're experiencing right now. They'll say it's like a breakup that they had, or a situation with a parent, or something that happened with money, or just a variety of things. And it's interesting to me because as you talk to the same person again and again, how many times they'll bring it up. But it's so important that we don't let that story define who we are, what we're doing, and what we could accomplish in the future. Someone will say, it was that time. I had a friend who would say something like, he got sick at one point. And so, for years, he would talk about how because he was sick, that's why he wasn't where he wanted to be. He didn't have the things he thought he'd have. Everything was fine, and then he got sick, and then all of a sudden that ruined everything. And it's like, everything doesn't get ruined by one moment in your life, but your life can get ruined, whatever that looks like, by focusing on the same thing. The same story can ruin your life if you bring it up again and again and again and again and again. Because our brains don't understand what's now and what's the past. So every time we relive something from our paths, like we feel the things that we felt at the time, we then take actions similar to that we would have taken at the time, and we just stay in this like spiral, right? And so if you find yourself doing that, and I definitely do it too, but when you find yourself doing it, really change the story that you're saying. Catch yourself and reframe it. What story do you want to be true now? For instance, let's say it was a breakup or just something had happened. I'll give an example from my own life. Like, I used to think because I was adopted, like I would never be happy. I'd never get the things I wanted to get. And so I would tell myself that story again and again and again, even into like my 20s. Not all the time, but I would do it. And eventually I had to be like, whether or not you're adopted or not, doesn't affect how successful you can be, how happy you can be, just all the things that I wanted to feel. Once I let that go, I haven't brought it, like it's been years since I've even thought about that. So we carry these things around. We carry these stories on us like we're putting them in these backpacks and carrying them forward. But like your past mistakes, the things that have happened to you, the experiences that you've had, sure, maybe they've happened again and again and again. But right now in this moment, you do have a choice about how you're going to frame your past, how you're going to frame this moment right now for yourself in a way that you can use to move forward and to tell a totally different narrative. For instance, because I'm adopted, that's why I'm going to be happy. It's going to, I don't necessarily tell myself that, but that's an example of what you can do. And this goes for money. It goes for relationships. It goes for anything, because if you aren't seeing the progress that you want to see and you're not moving forward, it means there's a part of you that's holding on to an old story. And one story that I've recently tried to let go of personally myself is that like, you can only do, let's say, 6 figures once every however many months or whatever. That's a weird example, but like I truly have carried that belief in my past for a while. It's like, oh, you have a 6-figure month, but like it only happens then, right? So like that's a story that I can actively let go of. And the more I've actively let go of it, the better, like, let's say in that financial perspective, things have been, right? Because it's like, just because that might have been true 5 years ago doesn't mean it's true now. And the more we can ask ourselves those questions, the more we can say, just because it was true then doesn't mean it needs to be true for me now, brings so much power back into your hands, and you will move so much quicker through the things that you want to accomplish. See you in another one.